Hey, it's me, GV, and welcome to Vana Vitriolic, ladies and gentlemen. This is episode 32 of L.A. Noire. And, yeah, welcome back. We're in the thick of it, playing as Jack Kelso, trying to figure out what the heck is going on in here. What's going on, man? What's going on with all these houses burning down? Something not good. Something not very good at all. We're visiting our boss, who is Curtis Benson. Looks like in house 2. Wait. What? Wouldn't he have his own? Wait, that seems weird, right? Why does he? These don't look like luxury apartments. He's like the head of, like, he seemed like a rich, you know, Mad Men-esque head of a company, fire insurance, whatever. Why would he be living here? This seems like way below his pay grade, right? I don't know. Anyways, that's interesting. Yeah, Curtis Benson. I guess it's an apartment in LA, so maybe it's location. I don't know.
Remember me?
Jack, it's good to see you. You've caught me at a slightly inopportune moment. Can we do this some other time?
Back off, Curtis. Move away from the door.
Jack, there's no call for that.
You're smooth, Curtis. I'll give you that. You try to get me killed and you still manage to be polite about it.
Jack, how could you accuse me of having anything to do with that?
I want to know all about you and Monroe, Curtis. You give it up or I beat it out of you.
Get the fuck out of here, Jack. You're fired. Who do you think you are? Get out of town now while you still have the chance. You have no idea what kind of forces you're dealing with here.
I guess we've exhausted the passive options. Sit tight, Curtis. I'm taking a look around.
Yeah, you gotta tie this guy up, man. Like, I don't understand. First of all, Jack Kelso in the last episode, he was like, oh, let me tell the guy that's super corrupted, that's my boss, that I know that I'm onto him. Which is a trope that, man, I just cannot get behind in, like, films and television and stuff like that. When, like, a character knows something bad and they're like, oh, I'll give you a chance to come clean. It's like, bro, they're gonna kill you. And then they often do. You know what I mean? So that trope never sits right with me. I feel like if I was in their shoes, typically, a good example is in a Game of Thrones.
What exactly do you expect to find, Jack?
Oh my god.
How old are you, Princess?
16, mister?
How old are you really?
Nearly 13.
You take love where you can find it as you get older.
Love? That has nothing to do with love, Curtis.
Some might find your romantic notions endearing, Jack. I find them very tiring.
You're finished, Curtis.
That remains to be seen, Jack.
I haven't told you about my new job, Curtis. DA's investigator.
Who do you think the DA reports to, Jack?
Get dressed, you're getting out of here.
He's not so bad. He just lays on top of me and grunts for a few minutes. He's kind. And he buys me nice things.
Get dressed, you're leaving.
She will only come back.
Jesus, man. Okay, that was the worst thing in the entire game so far. Like, this game is... Look, it's good. I like that this game, like, really delves into the corruption and bad things that would happen. But man, oh man, it really does not hold back. That's horrible. That's, like, the worst thing we've... I don't know about the worst. I mean, we've seen some really bad things in this video game so far. 13? God, I will never understand this to my dying day. It's like you're the head of some company, you've obviously got money, whatever. Why, and this is like in real life, like why do people in that like situation always do this sort of thing? I feel like, you know, if you want a hot partner or whatever, you know, you have so much money and power, it's like, why do you always have to go to that level? It's crazy, but it's so frequent in our society, you know what I mean? Insanity. Anyways, maybe that's just looking at it in a bubble. I don't know. But, yeah. That is horrifying. Wow, I was not expecting that actual age drop there. I think that actress looks much older than that, so I really wasn't expecting them to say that they were 13. Okay, so... Gotta look for something of import here. Yeah, I wonder what the, like, age of consent was at this time. I don't really know. because she said 16.
Jack, you've made a terrible
Yeah,
mistake.
shut up, dude. She said
Get out while you
16.
can.
Oh my god, shut up. She said 16, so like I assume that was like the age of consent, at least in California in the 1940s. I wonder when it was changed to 18, but it depends on the state. I don't know. But anyways, it sounds like it would be 16 during this time, is what she's saying. That's lipstick on that glass there, so he was also giving alcohol to a minor. Definitely his worst offense. Okay, so yeah, this guy is literally the scum of the earth.
What exactly do you expect to find, Jack?
I don't know. Shut up so I can find it. I would say my number one pet peeve, like, I get why they have to do it, but my number one pet peeve in all of games ever is when NPCs just literally constantly go, blah, 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 blah. It's like, I'm trying to concentrate. Shut up. I really wish games kind of erred on the side of not doing that ever, even if it adds to it. But again, maybe it's just because I'm doing a Let's Play. Maybe it's a little bit harder to focus, but that is my number one most annoyed thing in any, like in Skyrim when you're like,
I knew you were in bed
Jack,
with the
you've made a
Legion,
terrible
Curtis.
mistake.
Now I know why.
Get out while you can.
like in Skyrim when you're talking to any NPC, and if you take too long, like I'll be streaming and like, oh, this is interesting because blah, 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 blah. And then eventually they're like, can you get on with it? I'm like, I'm trying to absorb the information. Anyways, Los Angeles, California. The California Fire and Life Company, in consideration of the premium of $1,100 to be paid per annum, ensures the Legion fields developments against all losses or damage occurring to Rancho Escondido, located at an amount not exceeding $221,000.
What exactly do you expect to find, Jack?
See, I find this to be so badly designed. It's like the player is reading this, trying to understand information. You have a player going, shut up. So annoying. California Fire and Life Company has caused these present to be signed and witnessed by 26th day of February 1947. So, looks like he's getting what? The premium against all losses or damage occurring. So he's like getting a payout, right? From what I can understand, $221,000. Oh, I thought that was
Jack, you've made a
$21,000.
terrible mistake.
Sir,
Get out while you can.
if I can grab my gun and shoot you, trust me that I would. That goes back outside. This goes to his terrace. There's something on the table, too. Yeah, I guess this is supposed to be a luxury apartment. It just really doesn't feel like that to me. I feel like this guy would have a much better apartment, but I don't know. What is this?
To get all of the stockholders, I need to follow the paper trail.
To get all the stockholders, this certifies that this guy, something 2,000.
What exactly do you expect to find, Jack?
So this is stock in the Suburban Redevelopment Fund. Okay. And then, what is that? Same thing? So he's just like 4,000 shares, I guess? Am I supposed to tap something specific? Shares $100 each. Because it's trying to get me to just kind of turn the page, but we can also tap. So I'm confused. Okay, I'm assuming I'm done here.
Jack, you've made a terrible mistake. Get
Sir?
out while you can.
Sir, I am going to take my gun. Okay, let's check and see if we got all the clues here. Intuition, show all clues is not highlighted. I'm assuming we're good. So now we got to talk to him.
I want answers, Curtis. So pay attention.
Please, Jack. I'm not a violent man.
Motive for fraud.
I don't get it, Curtis. You're vice president of the company. Why take the risk?
It's a simple business transaction, dear boy.
Definitely a lie. Simple business transaction.
You're lying, Curtis. Something happened at the company, didn't it? That's why you took the bribe.
Bribe? What bribe? How can you accuse me of benefiting ahead of the company?
Benefiting ahead of the company? Is it just the share certificates? 4,000 Suburban Redevelopment shares at $100 each made out to Curtis Benson. That would be the bribe, right? Insurance agreement. Or this. Made out on Rancho Escondido by California Fire and Life Redevelopment Fund. Yeah, I'm confused. He's getting shares into Suburban, but he's also getting Made out on? So this is the thing that he did in exchange for these. So I think this is the evidence, hopefully.
I noticed that the share certificates are in your name, Curtis, not the company's. What did you use as collateral?
Those sons of bitches in Sacramento. They passed me over for president. Sent me here because they believed it was a backwater. But they were wrong. Los Angeles will become the capital of the West, not San Francisco. This place will be the city of the 20th century. And I'm gonna get my cut, Jack.
You're going to jail, Curtis. You and your cronies.
We'll see about that, Jack.
Yeah, man, it's like you can't just shoot him in the head because then you're, up for murder. But this guy getting away with, like, the stuff that he's done, especially the underage thing, it's like I wouldn't be able to deal with that. It's like, but what are you gonna do? You can't seal away your life just to make sure this guy is done. I don't know. It's rough. Corruption, suburban redevelopment.
Tell me about the Suburban Redevelopment Fund.
You're talking about the future of Los Angeles. You cannot interfere with these plans.
Information, Curtis.
Business people who have joined forces to meet the demand for new homes.
Okay, we're going to try to lie on that one.
You're lying, Curtis. They're going to burn those movie sets they call houses, and you're carrying the insurance on them.
And how do you prove that, Jack?
And how do I prove that? Oh, inferior lumber. Building site lumber marked inferior quality, not for structural use. Yeah, that would be it, right?
I thought not. Now help me up, Jack, and I'll give you a 10-minute start before I go for the phone.
See, that right there is an extremely frustrating part of this game. It's like he says, how are you going to prove that we're building it with inferior lumber? Oh, here's the inferior lumber. Nope, sorry. And I get, like, maybe, they're trying to get you to go down a different line of questioning, but, man, it just feels terrible. Like, it's like, I don't know, maybe I'm just thinking of the game wrong, but that right there, to me, should have been the evidence. But okay, Buckwalter case settlement.
Why the big payoff in the Buckwalter case? It was bound to bring it to attention.
Who could have predicted this particular confluence of events? Elsa Lichtman as the beneficiary who spurns the cash. The brilliant but flawed detective becoming her lover. And you, Jack, taking their bait.
You buy green lumber and use it to build houses. How do you expect it to end?
Mr. Monroe has a fine reputation for building houses. What would I know about his choice of building materials?
So that right there would be the lie.
You smug son of a bitch, you're lying again. It's an insurance scam, pure and simple.
And how do you prove that, Jack? My assessors wrote the policies on the houses.
My assessors wrote the policies on that. Again, I don't know, man, because it's like the same line of questioning with this. Building site lumber marked inferior quality. Redevelopment fund. Insurance agreement. Share certificate. So again, it's like, is this the evidence to prove that he's lying here, or is it a straight doubt? I don't know. I'm going to go for this.
I only approve the reports, Jack. I'm the rubber stamp. This doesn't come back to me.
Very neat, Curtis. Maybe I can't work it out, but Phelps can. He may be many things, but he is one of the best detectives the LAPD has ever had.
Your card is marked, Jack. You'll have an unfortunate accident if you don't leave town.
Your California isn't the same as mine, Mr. Benson. Not at all.
Yeah, I just don't know, man. Like, I'm willing to... Can we just straight up steal his car? Also, oh, that was that. Can we just straight up steal his car? That's kind of funny. If this is his car. California Fire and Life. I'm willing to just say, like, maybe it's me, maybe it's my experience that I just don't get mentally how this game is supposed to go. But I do find just the line of questioning to just be so subjective. You know what I mean? It's like, how can you prove that we don't build the houses with, quality products? Oh, I have this right here that shows that you don't. Nope, stupid. Nope, you're supposed to doubt. It's like that really feels bad. So I don't know if the game should have been designed in a way where, like, multiple things could have been accepted as correct, whether it's a doubt in addition to a lie. I don't know, but like I said in the last episode, the game just really feels like it should have a modder go through and kind of like rework it, at least to me. And again, that may be a hot take. I know a lot of people love this game, but I guess I'm just curious. Keep the needle above 80 for more than 10 seconds. while driving? How do we not get that before? Should be an achievement that pops up to the top right. Oh! So I don't know. Yeah, I'm curious to see. Like I said, I know people love this game, so I don't know if other people have this experience. And like I said, I do like the game as a whole. I think it's very unique, very fun, very interesting. But I love puzzle games to death. So feeling like I'm putting together something and then just constantly like getting shot in the foot for it feels bad. But again, it could just be how I'm trying to suss it out. I accept that. It could just be on me. I get that, but it's also how I feel, so I don't know. Feel free to let me know how you feel with this game in terms of what I'm talking about. Am I being unfair? Am I being fair? Let me know. Anyways, so now we need to go back to our offices. I hope that guy goes down at least, because that guy is a scummy, very corrupt, horrible person. So I hope he goes down. California Fire and Life, 10:20 a.m. early in the morning. Somewhat close to when I'm recording this in my spare time. Not my spare time. This is during like prime working time.
I used to be indecisive. Now I'm not so
Yep, there it is in the
I'm
top
just going
right.
up to my office party. Gotta check over some files.
Take the elevator. First door on the right when you come out. You know the way, Kelso.
Yeah, I was gonna say, why wouldn't he know that? Why would he tell us where to go? Obviously for the player, but Kelso would know where his office is, I would assume. So yeah, I don't remember how this goes. I don't even remember playing as Kelso. Not even one mission, let alone two. So very, very curious to see how this all ends. I remember one vague thing about the ending. Like I said, one vague thing. And that's about it. Where's my... he said first door on the right? That's not our name. That's not my name. That's not my name. Lloyd Connor. I don't know where my building is. Where my room is. Let's go upstairs. Seems like the game wants me to.
I'm going
Gotta
up
look
to the
for a
lakes to watch the
golden
races on Saturday.
doorknob. Oh, wait. We're probably trying to... Oh, we're investigating him. That makes more sense. So we're going into his office, it looks like. Our boss's. Still got his hat with the golf balls. At least clean up after yourself. Jeez. It's really nothing. I mean, they gave you a door handle here. Really nothing in the boss's office? Why do they let you come in here? That's so bizarre to me. You would definitely think you would find some sort of evidence. Okay. So is it on this floor? We're looking for a golden doorknob that will reveal the way. Where the heck? I guess he's not up to this level just yet. It's also weird that he's even working for them still, considering he's like a DA's investigator or whatever. All right. Where is my office? Where is my office? I'm assuming it's got to have a golden knob, right? Actually, what am I even doing right now? Am I literally trying to get to my office? Investigate California Fire and Life. Okay, okay. Wait, there it is, right there. All right, so we got to investigate our own work of employ. I think he did say that we were fired, though, right? So I think technically we are fired at this point in time.
So, Curtis, what is it you don't want me to see?
L to read entries and press A to select. What is it he doesn't want me to... Oh.
Insured replacement value for the house is $900. Current value of the house and land is $3,500. Christ, how many of these dumps are we carrying on the books?
So the property value is increasing, even though they're not built normally.
There's got to be more in these files.
There's got to be more in these files, but I can't interact with anything.
There's something else in that report. I know it.
In the report? I mean, I can't interact with unless I'm just supposed to hover over the information or something. Unless he means a I mean, this is a report, isn't it? I'm confused. Because he says there's something in the report, but... Yeah, we could only read this. So maybe it's just again on this little slip here. Fire and life. I mean, we know that. Policy number, maybe? Select the corner of a ledger to turn the page. Right, but I can't...
I'm going up to the lake to watch.
I don't know what we're supposed to be really investigating currently. Maybe something on the blueprint here? What would it be? Maybe the... Oh, something there.
34 degrees, 4 minutes, 29 seconds north. 118 degrees, 17 minutes, 58 seconds west.
I have a Detective Phelps of the LAPD here to see you.
Have a seat, Cole. Where's the go-between? She's awful easy on the eye for a foreign girl.
Does that private dick petter actually work on anyone, Kelso? It's not your style. You were always a little more direct.
This is your dime, officer.
Would you have helped me if I asked, Jack? A little chuck on the shoulder, shot of Semper Fi.
Fuck you, Cole. Be a man. Why send a woman to do your dirty work? You're a cop. Why do you want my help?
I thought a PI might be a little more discreet.
I'm no gumshoe. I used to be an investigator for this company before your investigation got me fired.
I'm sorry to hear that, Jack. I'm sorry about a lot of things.
Is that an apology, Cole?
It's a feeble attempted one, yes. Look, Jack, it's a murder case, and I need help to solve it.
So what's it got to do with Elysian Fields developments?
They're in it somehow. The flyers keep turning up whenever I find a domestic fire.
They're boosters. Stiffing GIs for deposits, making them wait months for a throw-up house. They're already making more money than they can count. What's turned them into killers?
So you believe me?
This is why you dragged me into the Buckwalter case.
Look, Jack, I'm sorry. But if not for me, do it for some of the poor saps who are dying, or some of the leathernecks who are getting grifted. How about it, Jack?
I know you, Cole. You're still beating yourself up over that medal on Sugarloaf. The medal you think you didn't deserve, but you just don't get it. Nobody deserves a medal. It's just the ridiculous situation you find yourself in and how you react to it. You think you failed up on that hill. But courage isn't a tap you can turn on or off. Courage isn't permanent. It's a tenuous and fickle thing. Courage and cowardice exist in every man. Get over it.
You got it off your chest.
I guess I have.
Can you help me, Jack?
I'm thinking about it. The Hall of Records is the place to start.
Yeah, man, so weird. I really want to like Jack Kelso, and I think he, again, would have made a better protagonist, you know? But he is oddly, you know, good-looking babe for a foreign girl. It's like, man, okay, that really kind of takes... He's just a little cringy, calling everybody princess, including, like, the underage girl,
Hello there.
you know? It's like, ugh.
You need some help there, sir?
The Land Registry Office. Where is it?
Just up the stairs.
Thanks.
I always wonder if they, like, realized Cole was so unlikable at a certain point. They were like, let's kind of shoehorn Kelso into the game now. Although probably not, because obviously, you know, he was established from the start as being part of Cole's platoon and all that.
I'd like to see the company details of the Suburban Redevelopment Fund.
Certainly, sir. Just this way.
Just would be an intriguing game to kind of see restructured, you know what I mean? And I'm curious if any of the viewers agree with me, disagree with me. I just, this is an interesting game to discuss, you know?
All those suburban sons of bitches ought to be listed in here.
Okay. Southern film casting. We'll look at the directors, see if anybody stands out. Shareholders. Yeah, that seems good. Standing inside. I mean, it's just going to be the S's, right? It's going to be... I guess we just got to go to literally the Suburban Land Development Fund, right? Suburban Redevelopment Fund, this thing here. So just click that. There they are. Monroe. Are we not trying to find this? I'm confused. Oh, Courtney Sheldon. Oh, that's interesting. Suburban Redevelopment Fund. Courtney Sheldon, the Marine, who Kelso would know, who stole the morphine.
Courtney, for God's sake, what's he got to do with this? I'd like information on a plot of land.
Okay, do you have the address?
Not exactly. It's a new lot. I have the coordinates. 34 degrees, 4 minutes, 29 seconds north. 118 degrees, 17 minutes, 58 seconds west.
All right, that makes it a bit more difficult. Come with me.
Boom, bada boom, boom. I wonder if he's saying it makes it more difficult because we have the longitude and
That is
latitude.
in the Wilshire area. Here.
34 degrees, 4 minutes, 29 seconds north. 118 degrees, 17 minutes, 58 seconds west.
Okay, 17, so this way, what do you say, 58 seconds? Yeah, we've got the left one right, but the longitude needs to be 118, 17, you say 58?
The lot number's 1876988.
Unfortunately, that is just the beginning. We have at least 1 million lot numbers in the Los Angeles area. Registrations are in alphabetical order. You need to convert your lot number to a letter.
How do I do that?
Over here, use this adding machine. There are 90,000 entries to a book, so divide your lot number by 90,000.
Huh? What?
1876988. Divided by
90,000, yes.
6, 9, 8, 8. And he said, can this thing do division? Oh, it can. Okay. Divided by, he said 90,000, right? 9, 0, 0, 0,
1,876,988 divided by 90,000.
20.
A starts at 0, so you want to add 1 to your number.
21.
That number is your letter of the alphabet. Once you have the letter, find the right aisle, and you are in business.
You do this every day?
Okay. So before he just tells us the answer, 21 out of 26 letters of the alphabet. I have a hard time working my way back, but X, Y, Z. So Z, Y, Z, Y, X. That'd be 26, 25, 24. Then like what? W, right? So that'd be 23. And then we need 2 more. Yeah, I always have a tough time doing this. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T. So it'd be U, right? My math is correct. Should be U. So right here.
Let's see what the site is worth to them.
See, this is what's in. See, I like this stuff where it's like basically a puzzle. I wish there was more stuff like this. You know, again, if you're restructuring.
1876988.
988. So it's on this page. Yeah. So if like you're restructuring, maybe have like Jack do puzzles, and then Cole do investigative work, and then just kind of have them offset throughout the entire game. That kind of would be fun to me. So this right
Book
here.
value is $350. With the new home in place, the improved value of the property is $3,500. They can make a killing. But how do they pull it off?
Know why I plumbed for the caddy? The extra trunk space.
One thing you learned in the war, boys. You do your talking once the smoke clears.
It's a badass line. Bam, bada, bam, bam, ba, 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 bow. Get your head up out of them books. Bam, bada, bam, 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 bam. This guy right here. Bam, bada, bam, bam. Let's take that shotgun. Bam, 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 bam. Okay, one more guy on the left. Bam, bada, bam, bam. Yeah, bo, de, bo. He's got a Thompson. Bam, bada, bam, 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 bam.
I need a word, Courtney.
That's okay, Jack. You didn't need to come all the way down
It's
here.
important, Courtney.
How can I help?
Tell me about the Suburban Redevelopment Fund.
What are you talking about?
Don't fuck with me, Courtney!
Jack, I swear, I don't know what you're talking about.
How does your name appear as one of the investors in the Suburban Redevelopment Fund?
You're out of your mind.
I was down at the Hall of Records checking on a property company called Elysian Fields Developments. Their funding comes from the Suburban Redevelopment Fund.
Seriously, Jack, I have no idea.
Your name is there, Courtney, with some pretty interesting company. The mayor, the district attorney, some dirty cops, and your buddy, Dr. Harlan Fontaine.
Dr. Fontaine?
Spill it, Courtney. I want all of it. Fontaine and the rest.
Fontaine took the morphine off our hands. Look, Jack, I know you said to get rid of it, but it's okay. I did something good for once. He reinvested the money for us. That's it. That's what's happening. They're building houses for GIs, Jack. I turned a mistake into something beneficial, something that's going to help out the guys.
Courtney, they're building matchstick houses. They're going to burn them for the insurance money. They'll probably stiff the poor bastards for the deposits.
Please, Jack. Say it isn't so. Harlan's a doctor, a good one. He helps out a lot of people.
Looks like he's helping himself, Courtney. You're the fall guy.
It's an interesting plot. Like, I like what the overall plot of the game is. You know, especially for the time that this is set in. I think it's very strong. The 1940s, people returning from war, being taken advantage of, you know, answer the telephone. Yeah, I really like the overall plot. I think it's very strong. I think for me, I guess it really comes down to Cole's character. He's not likable at all, really. And on top of that, his decisions don't really line up with what his character would do. And I think it needed more fleshing out. And then also Kelso is more likable too. So it's just a kind of a weird juxtaposition there, you know? Answer the telephone.
Jack Kelso.
Who's asking?
It's Leland.
Leland Monroe.
I was wondering when you'd get around to calling.
I'd like to meet with you, Mr. Kelso.
I bet you would, Mr. Monroe. But I value my skin highly enough to not want to meet with you. Why don't you just send some more of your boys around and we'll have a nice cup of tea?
You realize that I could make you a very wealthy man, Mr. Kelso.
Better than $220 a month?
You're a very witty man, Kelso. Substantially better.
I'm going to have to let it slide, Mr. Monroe.
Are you haggling with me, Jack?
I might be.
Come around to my place at 9. 5164 Santa Monica Boulevard. You'll come?
I might. Good night, Mr. Monroe.
Why would you come in this situation, though? I feel like they're literally just going to kill you, right? Like, what do you stand to gain at all? Maybe he's got another plan here, of course. Bum ba da bum boom. Meet Leland Monroe, Kelso's apartment. Let's take this car. No, that's our car. Shoot, I wanted to take a new car, but it's fine. We're not going to get all the cars in the compendium. Oh, we did get a new car. Cord hardtop. So I guess that's his car. Not sure. Can I hold Y to... Yeah, what's the deal with holding Y to, like, fast travel to your location? I don't know if you could just do that at certain points. It's kind of bizarre. No.
Must be his blind spot.
Yeah, exactly, for sure. Yeah, the more I think about it, I really think, you know, Kelso's a bit of a badass. The only thing is he's very cringy with women, calling everybody princess, but obviously it was the times too. You know, I think that's what these times were known for, right? Like, that's the LA noir, that's the noir thing. Hey, what you doing, dame? How's it going, princess? That sort of thing, right? But I don't think Kelso pulls it off, and it's also kind of against his character too. Doesn't really give that vibe that he can kind of pull that sort of thing off, at least to me. So, yeah, I think, you know, to clean this up, nothing against Cole or his actor, like, I gotta be honest, I'm not, like, a big fan of the performance of Cole, but I just read a thing where it's interesting, where, like, apparently they decided to do, like, a different setup for the investigation questions early on. Like, they wanted to call it, like, pressing, which is why sometimes when you doubt, Cole goes off the deep end, right? And just goes like, well, how dare you say that, you know, freaks out, whatever. So I don't know how much of it is Cole's actor's performance versus, like, how the game was originally set up to not be doubt, but to more so be, like, press and, like, you know, get angry. It's a weird game. I know I keep saying that, but it's just a weird, like, it's a very ambitious title. But again, because of that, I think it kind of turned out a little messy in certain aspects, you know? But I think Kelso would have made for a better protagonist, and I don't know. I don't know much about, like, structure of, like, you know, what would have and not worked. But I do feel like you want your protagonist, especially in a game like this, like a noir story, to be somewhat likable, right? That's why you have the hard-boiled detectives who are typically likable because, you know, they're so rough and tumble, they typically have flaws, but they're likable, right? Maybe I'm just not familiar with the noir genre. Maybe they're not likable ever. A good example is The Expanse. 11 p.m. Yeah, a good example is The Expanse, where you have Tom, what's his name? Thomas Jane, like his character.
Help, all of you. We can reminisce later. I want a minimum of noise and no prisoners.
No prisoners? This isn't Pelelu, Jack.
These guys are grifting GIs. That's what they do for a living.
It's okay, Jack. We all feel the same way. Just hasn't turned out quite the way we imagined.
Let's get it done. Teams of 2 at the ready.
This is pretty badass, too. See, like, this would have felt more of a catharsis if you played as Jack the entire time. You know what I mean? But yeah, okay. I kind of figured this is what he was going to be doing, because, like, otherwise, what are you ultimately doing? Are these guys on the ready, by the way? Why would they be? I guess they would think we are going to kind of take them out. All right, let's go loud. Boop. Let's go loud. Let's go loud. Everybody, let go loud. Let's go grab that guy's gun. Let's go loud. Let's go loud. Ba ba do ba zi ba ki ba da ba do ba di ba do. Show your face.
How long do you think you can hold out?
How'd that not kill him?
Got the bastard. Move up.
All right, let's storm him. Bum, bum, bum. Bum, bum, bum. What the hell?
That's it. Out of ammo.
Okay, move up, move up, move up. You gotta, like,
down, damn it.
get low, yeah. Okay, let's reload here. Get this guy behind the pillar. Got him. Shot him through the neck. Let's jump over this. Grab one of these guys' guns. We're gonna run up here. Got a headshot there. One more guy on the left. Bow, bow, bow.
All right, men, hold the perimeter. I got personal business with Mr. Leland Monroe.
Where are we doing this personal bit? Ah, okay. Here we go. Jesus. Don't know if we can pick up ammo or anything. Okay, I guess we're going through here.
There he is. What?
Keep on going, Jack.
You got this, Jack.
You're a very sweet-looking girl to be holding such a big gun.
I know how to use it, mister.
I'm sure you do. So how about pointing it over there in the direction of Hollywood instead of at me, Princess?
You're quite the wise guy.
I don't normally shoot women, Princess. How about putting the cannon down? I didn't think you had the guts, sweetheart. I was never very good at reading women.
You don't say. I just
Monroe,
can't buy it, man.
Where are you, damn it?
Can't buy it. Sorry, Jack. Okay, one more guy on the left here. Let's make sure to grab his weapon. It's a shotgun? Looks like a shotgun. Okay. This away. It's like no golden knobs over here. Is he in here?
Jack Kelso.
That's my opening negotiating position.
Oh, you crazy son of a bitch! How did you get in here? I'm bleeding to death. Get me a doctor.
I thought I had an invitation, Monroe. Your boys outside were certainly expecting me. That's my second offer.
You sadistic bastard! What do you want?
I'm going to take a look around, Monroe. Then I want you to tell me what you know about the mayor and those Trojan houses that you're building.
Trojan houses. See, like, I like a lot of stuff like that. Like when Jack, like, yeah, that's my opening negotiation. That's sick. And I feel like if we were able to root for him the entire time, and also if he wasn't constantly calling women princess, and not really being able to, like, solidify that, yeah, you know, that would have been a really kind of epic moment, you know. Got another newspaper here. Suburban Redevelopment Fund promises 10,000 new homes.
Dr. Fontaine, I need to speak with you urgently.
Sit down. Please, sit down.
Tell me about the Suburban Redevelopment Fund.
It's the fund we are using to channel money into the development of new houses.
Why is my name on the board of managers?
Technically, you are a major contributor. Please, Courtney.
Those houses are a sham, Doctor. They're going to be burned for the insurance.
That's a scandalous allegation, Courtney. Do you have any proof?
Jack Kelso, an investigator for California Fire and Life, has seen them. He was almost killed when he found out what was going on.
I don't know what to say. I feel that I have been duped. Who do you think is behind this subterfuge?
Jack says it's a property developer named Monroe. He said it goes all the way to the mayor.
You cannot have believed that I was involved.
I don't know what to believe anymore, Doctor. I hoped that you weren't involved.
Thank you for your trust, dear boy. Be still, Courtney. All of your troubles are finally over. Let them go. Let them drift away.
Wow, okay. Yeah, these newspapers are so important, man. That just shows what happens to Courtney. He was a major player, kind of kicked everything off here. I like how Jack just looks at that like, okay. Doesn't really know what's going on behind it.
The Suburban Redevelopment Fund. Remind me what they say about absolute power, Monroe.
Fuck you, Jack. Call me an ambulance already.
No, I don't think that I will. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, obviously we're going to be ending this at a very heightened moment, which I don't like to do, but I do unfortunately need to end here, trying to basically get this channel ready for my trip to see my family. So unfortunately I do have to end this one here, because if this goes another 20 minutes, that is going to throw a huge wrench into everything that I've got planned for today. So we will pick this back up in the next episode. Thank you very much for watching. If you'd like to get involved with this channel, check out the Patreon, links in the description below. Thank you to our patrons, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.